Good afternoon. This is Kevin Craney with RJO Futures with your afternoon financial market update going into the weekend. Wow, what an explosive move higher today by the equity markets, driven off of additional ECB talks. We hear that Mario Draghi potentially meeting with some members of the ECB and talking. So this is what really is driving this market higher. As you can see the equity markets really anticipating some kind of action out of the Federal Reserve, the ECB, the Bank of England next week, really baking that into the equity markets. And I cannot imagine what the disappointment is going to be like if we get nothing out of any of the central banks next week. This market could certainly give up all of the gains that we saw today and this week very, very quickly if we see zero action out of any of the central banks next week. Today we saw the S&P actually trade higher, up 26 points in the cash, all the way up to 1385 for a gain on the week and actually a gain on the month at this point. And we actually saw 10-year Treasury yields come back to 154 basis points. Earlier in the week we were all the way at 140 to 145. So some tremendous moves in interest rates today and yesterday alone in order to get us back to some of these higher yields. 30 years back at 262, and we were talking about 250 basis points just days ago. So those are some pretty dramatic moves in a short amount of time. Looking forward to next week and some of the reports that we see. On Monday we'll get a Dallas Fed manufacturing report. On Tuesday we get personal income and outlays, S&P Case-Shiller, and Chicago PMI. But probably the big event Tuesday is we do start the Federal Reserve meeting here in the United States, and that'll bleed through to Wednesday, as this is a two-day meeting, and we'll get the announcement on Wednesday. Certainly that's what everybody's going to be looking at when it comes to Wednesday, but we also get ISM manufacturing. We also have some PMI manufacturing and ADP employment reports as well. So that next week is going to be a big report week, particularly on Wednesday. On Thursday, we get the ECB announcement and the Bank of England announcement. So we follow up Wednesday with two important central bank announcements on Thursday, as well as weekly jobless claims, and that being the day before the unemployment report on Friday. So a big week next week in terms of reports here in the U.S. We have a Spanish bond auction next Thursday as well, so it'll be very interesting to see how that goes off, particularly with the timing of the ECB meeting next week. We've seen those Spanish yields really compress this week as we saw Mario Draghi kind of talk that market up and put a dent in the Spanish bond yield, so it'll be interesting to see how those act next week. Please give me a call, 888-596-5817. We can discuss interest rates, equities, other commodities. Have a great weekend. As always, futures trading does involve a great degree of risk and is not suitable for everyone.